Alistair, yesterday we discussed gold. Now we talk about silver. From your Substack report, and I quote, Silver's a surge is in its infancy. Alistair, please make comments on this one.
There are two different things that make me feel that silver is in the early stages of a massive revaluation, if you like. Firstly, the gold-silver ratio is still around about 90. Historically, that is extremely high. I would expect it in the medium to long term to fall towards 50. That would be perfectly reasonable. Now, if it falls towards 50, then we're looking at a relationship between silver and gold, where silver outperforms gold, measured in fiat currency terms. That's the first thing. The second thing is that silver is basically, if you like, money. It is metallic money with no counterparty risk, but it is not being priced as such. As confidence in fiat currencies decline, I believe that people trying to protect their wealth will move out of fiat currencies into real money, which was originally determined by the Romans and is in everybody's common law. And that includes gold, silver, and even copper. We can all remember, those of us of a certain age, when small coins were made out of copper. Obviously, gold is getting the highlights. That is the one which central banks are buying. And what they're doing, in fact, is they're selling dollars, and they're using gold as a refuge away from fiat currencies. They're not doing this with silver. They don't need to do this with silver. But silver's role, if you like, in a world where everything ends up being priced relative to gold, silver's role is really, if you like, the smaller change, legal money for, let's say, up to $2,000, that sort of thing. But that role would mean that silver has to return to a more sensible relationship relative to gold. Now, historically, that has been less than 20. I wouldn't forecast it will fall to less than 20, but it seems to me perfectly reasonable that it will move towards the 50 level, which seems to me to be a fairly sensible target in the short term. The other thing worth mentioning is that the technical position in silver looks extremely positive. It has broken out of a long-term consolidation. And if you look at the supply situation, there is a deficit of supply compared with industrial demand. So silver has got a huge amount going for it. And I would expect to see the price of silver move considerably higher from current levels, again, reflecting the loss of purchasing power of fiat currencies.
Yeah, good answer. And sometimes Daryl and I talk about this too. We've said on many occasions to our clients, when silver goes for a run, it will go. And, at 90-to-1 ratio to the price of gold, it means that 90 ounces at the moment of silver to buy 1 ounce of gold. Alistair, if you're right and it goes to 50 or even 45-to-1, that is half. That's half the cost. So in other words, buy a little bit of silver at the moment. In fact, you could buy a lot, but buy some silver at the moment. And when this ratio is down to 50 to 45, sell that silver off and replace it with gold. And you're buying actual gold with your silver currency. So it's a very, very good way of looking at it.